Team news wise, how's the squad looking fitness wise going into the tail end of this campaign?
It's slightly fitter than it was a week ago. I mean, we've had one or two players who've been out medium term who are all now back in training.
Such as?
Craig Woodman, Ryan Harley, Jordan Moore-Taylor. So there's a number of players there who have been out now for sort of a month really, and they've been back in training, so it gives me a couple of things to think about going into the next 2 or 3 weeks.
Could people like Jordan and like Ryan and Woody make the team for this Saturday against Colchester, or do you think the playoffs is a more realistic aim?
When they're back in training, it's kind of the first step, and then they have to prove that they are up to match speed, and then you have to prove that they've got the resilience back in their legs. There's no point playing for one game and breaking down again. So it's actually it's something that you work in collaboration with your physio and a bit of gut instinct on experience of those players. But they're back in training, they're trying to be fit for the playoffs, and we have to use everything, be it the game, be it training, be it the time, to get as many players as fit as we can for next Saturday. And of course it's not just about next Saturday, there's the second leg. So we've got a good fortnight ahead of us now of some training and some opportunity to put players back into more availability. This is the start of a 4-game run essentially now, isn't it? Hopefully 3, maybe 4. I mean, one thing you learn in sport, especially football, is you just cannot get ahead of yourself. We've got 2 playoff games, semi-final, home and away, and that's all we can bank on at the moment. So first things first, that's our focus. Does it matter where you finish in places 4 through to 7? Do you think? Well, I'll answer that after the semi-finals. I don't really know. I mean, in theory, we want to go into the playoff games feeling good about ourselves with a result on Saturday against Colchester. So I think the biggest thing is trying to get some momentum going into those games. So to answer your question, hindsight will tell us in a few weeks' time what was the right or wrong thing to do, but we're trying to win the game. We're playing to get a result against Colchester that will therefore, if we do get a result, push us into a certain position. And there's no particular craft in that. We're just trying to win the game. You obviously go into this final game against Colchester, and although they're a mid-table side and you're at home, what I'm trying to say is, how do you ensure the focus is on that and not on what is to come? Because obviously Colchester, this is their final day. They will be off come Sunday, whereas you've got a lot more to play for. I guess the focus still has to be on this one, but everyone must have one eye on what's going to happen and who they might face in 8-10 days' time. Yes, I don't think we can hide the fact that it's different for us than it is for Colchester, and human nature will prevail. But it's our job to be focused and disciplined in the things we need to do to maintain fitness and focus and preparation. So it's very different for them than it will be for us. But it's still a game of football. We're still professional people on Saturday. So I don't think for 1 minute they won't want to win, and I don't think for 1 minute we want to win more than them. It's just it just is slightly different. But the job of a professional is to put himself mentally into the place that's appropriate at that moment, and I'm sure all coaches, players will be doing that on Saturday. It's Steve's final league game. I know there'll be a playoff game as well. Yeah. Whatever happens in the summer, I know you don't want to talk about the contract, but when this chap goes, how will you miss him? What will you miss most about him? Well, Steve has been wholly committed to the football club for longer than I've been here. So, his input and contribution to Exeter City has been enormous, from a really, really vulnerable, weak moment in the club's history right through to now, which arguably is the healthiest. So it's very hard to quantify that level of contribution, but Steve arrived when credibility was probably at its lowest, and he's personally taken it upon himself to influence the disciplines of the club, the themes by which we work to, the way we treat each other, and by creating an environment that gives young players and senior players opportunity. And where there's talent and determination, there's a very, very good mix here for people to get on in their careers. Steve has been a large factor in all that, and I think he's personally added value to numerous players who've gone on to do very, very well for themselves. And it's not just about the first team. His influence emanates all the way through the club, and he's been a very big factor in the success of Exeter over the last 15 years. On a personal note, he's been my partner in all this. We've been side by side, whatever our titles, we've been partners in this, along with Julian Tagg. We've been partners in this challenge, and he's always been there to support me and give me advice, or just confirm what I'm already doing when I need some encouragement. So, I would put him as one of the major two factors in my career here at Exeter.
What's the other?
Julian Tagg.